everybody, to our first session of After the Roll. This will be a foray into a recap and review type show for those of you who are hanging out and want to see some more. So we have all of our favorite people: Orlo, Zamzara, Laya, Skellyclick, Emerin, Best Kind Gaming, and our beautiful Sir Roland down in the bottom right.
Fucked it all up.
As per usual, the most professional things. Only way we do shit. So, welcome. And we will be getting into just some very minor discussions about what happened last session and how everybody's feeling about it, and probably an inordinate amount of silliness.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of yelling, because I feel like yelling a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a... if you're wearing headphones, you might want to just nudge that volume down. Just two or three little bits there.
As I wanted to start with, the first big question was just, give me something you enjoy, guys. Was it something you did or something someone else did? But just what was your favorite part about the session overall? We'll just start in a fashion of, I'm just going to pick someone randomly at the time. We'll go from there. Orlo, let's start with you.
What did I enjoy just from this last session? I don't know. I think the general So I guess the one thing that stood out to me that I didn't talk about during the session was when we were walking up to Bonwo, sitting in the drained like lake bed, whatever, pond, where the waterfall was. I thought you were setting that up to be like the actual fight. So I was kind of on the edge of my seat at that point, because I thought he was just going to turn around and be possessed, or something was going to have gone wrong with him, and we were just going to have to fight him after spending all that time with him. But then where you kind of stepped it up another notch and took us through the back of that cave behind the waterfall, and it all kind of unfolded from there. That was probably one of the highlights for me.
Good. Yeah, I actually did think about that, so I'm glad that it kind of came across. I wanted to give it that air of a little bit of, oh no, what's going to happen, which I'm sure you guys are pretty much always there for, but...
Oh, yeah.
It felt like the lead up to a Souls boss. Like, that's exactly what it felt like.
Well, we know that I hate those, so that would never be the case. BK, Emerin, what'd you like?
To continue on that, I don't know if anybody saw it during the chat, during the session, but I was sitting here going, and I was saying, it's a fucking dragon. It's a fucking dragon. We're going to fight a fucking dragon. Yeah, so there was a lot of, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of build up to that part of the episode, certainly. My highlight of the thing, I think, is the relationship that Emerin is building with Roland at this point, because, at first when Roland showed up, he was like, oh, fuck, another idiot with a stick up his ass, right? And not another idiot. He doesn't think Laya's an idiot, but he does think she has a stick up her ass. And then when he saw him go nuts and kill all those people in the battle just before we got to Elmenhof, he was like, this guy I like. But the more he sees Roland's anger, the more I think he sees himself in Roland, and is like, this could get out of hand really, really quick, and I'd like to talk to him about it. So when Burke and I did our little talking back and forth, and I was saying to him, like, yeah, I know what it's like to have something, a monster live inside you, literally, and if you need some help, come talk to me. And he's like, I don't know if murder is a big thing in your order. And he just turns and looks at Emerin, puts his hand on his shoulder, says, I'm not a murderer, and then walked away. And I was like, fuck, yes, that was perfect.
Yeah, you guys are building some pretty phenomenal interactions between your characters, and I am 100% here for it, especially as you guys even, I think, are finding out more about your characters themselves as you're playing through them. It's been wonderful to watch, because I know who they are for the most part, and I've seen the backstories, obviously, but like it's wonderful to see you guys really get into them and kind of bounce back and forth off of each other. Sir Roland, what were you enjoying?
Yeah, I love this tension that you keep building. Like, I think I made a stupid Dark Souls joke when I was going to like touch the pedestal in that room at the bottom, Because I was thinking it was going to be a dragon too. It's like, okay, we're in this big ominous room with draconic runes all over the walls, and there's a there's a pedestal in the middle with a sign on it that says, "Touch me, idiot. You won't. You don't have a hair on your ass." And there's a giant hole in the ceiling. I was picturing it as a giant hole, but I guess it was a well-sized hole. But I thought a big dragon was going to fly down, and then we were going to have to fight it. But I like that it's this sort of subversion of the expectation that we're gonna like, that this is a boss room. We better be ready for a boss, and then it's not. I love it, and I also like this intrigue you're building with Michelle and Eugene, Sir Roland's long lost compatriots. Like it's clear something's up with them. And then everything is not what it seems, but what exactly that is and to what extent things are wrong is still unclear. And I like exploring that and going back and forth and sort of having Sir Roland have this old loyalty to his old friends who he wants to believe, but this new loyalty, like this proven loyalty to this band of adventurers he's with, is sort of being torn between those is presenting some really interesting and some really fun character development opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're feeling that way, and I mean I was talking to Skelly about it before, but one of the things that I wanted to kind of express, at least in this, I'll put a little like spoiler, don't listen to this part, floating above my head or something. We'll put it in post. It's fine. But I didn't. I was obviously losing my voice, and I wanted to express a little bit more. Like what you guys came across in that cave was legitimately like the wellspring, and I wanted to kind of convey the real importance of that a little bit more, and it didn't quite come across the way that I wanted it to hit because I sound like a frog. But you guys have really been, digging into it, and it's been wonderful to experience on my end as well, like seeing you guys like question absolutely everything all the time, and I love it because that's just so much easier for me that I already have you there.
This is precisely why I did the whole. Sorry, Skelly, I know it's your turn to talk, but that's precisely why I was going. It's a dragon, it's a fucking dragon, because I thought it was the wellspring as well. Because the last time we saw a wellspring was when we were with Sorith, and we all went, "Oh fuck, it's a dragon!" I'm like, "Are we developing a theme here?" Like,
no themes necessary. Laya, what did you enjoy?
This is more like a bit of trivia that I wanted to make sure to highlight, because I have a little bit of an in with the DM. But actually, in that room, there was supposed to be a pretty basic puzzle for us to solve. But in the interest of like making sure that we got to the point that he wanted us to get to before the end of session, he just kind of like scrapped the puzzle. Do you want to tell them what the puzzle was?
Absolutely not. It'll show up later.
Yeah.
Well, then why did you tell me what it was?
Because I didn't tell you how to solve it.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
Did you lie to me?
oh shit!
Oh
Did you
my.
lie to me?
Things can always be edited.
We'll clear it up in post.
Ducky, as your attorney, my client does not have to answer that question, and I think that it's in everybody's best interest if we terminate the interview. Thank you very much for your time.
No, I did kind of explain to her a little bit about how it worked and the general idea of what it was going to be, but I think that it will be something that I will rework a little bit and bring in later. But essentially, it was a round robin figuring out what the runes matched up with kind of style of thing. But it'll come back. Don't worry. You'll see it later and go, "That's the thing."
That motherfucker.
If you watched After the Roll, you know the thing.
And that's what the $75 a month level of Patreon will get you. That's where we're at. These are the 75s we're talking to. Here we.
Yeah, the $90 chair level.
All right.
Chair level. Oh my god.
Welcome, fellow upper crusters, to After the Roll.
So yeah,